What's going on, Duck Nation, College Basketball Nation? This is Adam of UODuckBros here with a video. I'm going to be doing this one solo today as my counterpart Spencer is stuck at work, and I had the day off today, so I decided to take it upon myself to make a video. I actually cut all my hair off last night, by the way, after Oregon lost to Stanford, which was probably one of the worst things that's ever happened in the history of the entire world. The way that my tradition goes is I grow my hair out for the season, and then I cut it off if we either lose a game or we win all of our games, which you can kind of fill in the blanks on that one. Go figure that as soon as I started making this video, they started talking about it on ESPN. Go figure. But that, my friends, is a story for another day, because today marks the start of something brand new, and I'm super pumped about it. The college basketball season starts today, and to start the season off, Oregon has a huge game against Georgetown. It's probably one of the best starting games of season that Oregon's had in a little while, because I don't know if the game that they played against Vanderbilt last year was the first one or not. It was one of the first ones, but Oregon starts the season ranked at 19, which is the first time that they have entered a season ranked since, I think, like 2007. I think that was the last time. That's a little while. And Georgetown isn't ranked to start the season, which just because they're unranked does not mean that they're not good, because let's be honest, Georgetown has always been one of the national powers in basketball. They did lose a couple players to the NBA, but they, just like all of the great teams out there, they reload pretty seamlessly. So they're playing this game in South Korea, by the way, which is pretty wild. But I think it's going to be a great game. I love that you're getting marquee games like this really quickly to start the season off. I love the jersey combinations that both teams are going to be using in here. They're actually doing special armed forces like digital camouflage jerseys for this game. I think it's really cool. The biggest story of this game, I think, and for the entire season, as far as Oregon's concerned, is how well are they going to play, considering that they lost a great deal of their players from last season. I mean, let's take a look at who they lost, or at least the main pieces of who they lost. They lost, they lost Tony Woods at center. They lost E.J. Singler at forward, who's been one of the most integral parts of Oregon basketball the last few years. They lost Carlos Emery. They lost Arsalan Kazemi, which that may be probably the biggest loss of the entire thing. He may not have been a big points guy, but he was the hustle guy. He got all the hustle rebounds. He had a lot of clutch plays and a lot of clutch baskets in times that we needed them, just because he was the guy that was all over the floor. So replacing him is going to be a hard thing to do, but Dana Altman's an awesome coach, and I swear on my life, he is like the master at prying players out of junior college and like stealing guys from other schools. We have a lot of transfers that came in this year. A lot of the key pickups that we got. Let's see who Oregon picked up in the offseason. I think the biggest one was probably getting Mike Moser. He transferred over here from UNLV. That's going to be probably the biggest acquisition the entire year. God, I really can't watch this whole Stanford-Oregon thing on the TV over there. It's driving me crazy. But he's a guy that he dominates the paint. He can shoot from pretty much anywhere on the floor. He's going to be probably one of the biggest pieces this year. The returning players that we have that's really important. I mean, Dominic Artis is coming back, even though he won't be in this game because of the fact that he and forward Ben Carter both got suspended for, I think it was 9 games for selling team apparel, which, yikes to that one, by the way. However, replacing Artis in this game, I'm actually not too worried about it. Jonathan Lloyd came back, and so he is going to be probably taking over the point guard spot in this game, which that makes me a lot more comfortable starting him than an inexperienced freshman for this game. So that's going to be super important. Waverly Austin, I like to call him Wavy Lays, actually. They sound the same. He's going to be running the center for. He's going to be probably the big figure down low. He's actually the only player on the roster this season that is taller than 6'8", so he's going to be the integral big guy figure this season. But we got some Damian Dotson is probably the other key piece in this offense this year. He, as a freshman last year, just lit the world on fire, more or less, and he's going to be a big part for this game, obviously, because Oregon, in a lot of ways, kind of lives and dies by the three-pointer, and he's more or less the best guy on our team at doing it. So that's another good thing. But we got some other key acquisitions. We got Elgin Cook was the guy that came over. Richard Amarty. Jaleel Abdul-Basit was another guy that we picked up. There's a couple of other guys that I can't remember at the moment, but those are all players that are going to fit into the system very, very well. I'm very excited about that. But let's get to the game here. So, like I said, Oregon is a team that in a lot of ways lives and dies by the long ball. That's kind of been the mantra. Even when Ernie Kent was the coach, that was like really the thing then. We've been able to be a more balanced offense since Dana Altman got here, but there is still a pretty decent volume of long-range threes being put up. But I think that having players like Mike Moser, and I think that developing Waverly Austin into a true center is going to really help kind of not force our guards to have to shoot so many outside shots. I think it's going to be able to kind of make Georgetown spread the floor out so that we can get the ball inside and try to relieve our guards a little bit. I think defensively for Oregon in this game, it's going to be interesting seeing how they match up with Georgetown. They have a lot of great shooters on that team. They've always been a team that's got some really good inside presences. I mean, they had like Otto Porter. They had players like Roy Hibbert was another guy. I mean, that guy's tearing it up in the NBA now. So having more players like that in their system, they're always a team that's good at controlling the paint, getting a lot of rebounds, a lot of offensive rebounds. It's going to be interesting to see how Oregon matches up in this game. But I do think that with it being the first game of the season, there's always room for mistakes for both teams, obviously. But I think that Oregon is a rather disciplined team. They're not one to make a ton of turnovers. I know that they're not slated to finish first in the conference. I mean, the Pac-12 is definitely returning to past glory here with good basketball. I mean, Arizona's in the top 10. Colorado is going to be up there somewhere. UCLA is going to be a good team in the system. Oregon's ranked. So it's going to be a good conference in basketball this year. I think that Oregon should be able to win this game. I mean, they are the favorite to win. I don't know what the spread is. I've never been good with basketball spreads, but I think that Oregon should be able to control turnovers in this game. I think that they will be able to get some outside shots to fall their way. Damian Dotson is a very, very good outside shooter. It would be really nice if Artis was available for this game because he is definitely a better shooter than Jonathan Lloyd is. I think Lloyd will probably take on more of the distributor role in this game, trying to get other players the ball. I'm really excited to see how Moser plays. That's something that I've been looking forward to the entire offseason. So I think that Oregon will win this game. I'm not going to be doing score predictions for basketball, by the way. That's something that I don't dive into that. Basketball as a sport in general, it's so unpredictable on what score, especially college scores. I mean, you could have a game where Oregon's going to score 45 points in like a low scoring grinder, or it could be a game where Oregon just does a track meet and they score 90. So I'm not going to sit here and give an actual score prediction, but I do think that Oregon will win this game. I think that they'll win it by no more than 7. I think it'll be a back and forth game pretty much all night. But I think that in the end, Oregon will make the key plays down the stretch that'll get them the W, and I think that'll be a great way to start this off for both Oregon basketball and Pac-12, getting a big win over a team like that. So just look out for it, you guys. It's going to be a great game. I think it should be on national television. I think it'll be on one of the ESPN affiliates. So the game starts in a little under an hour and a half. It starts at 4:30. So yeah, definitely go out there and watch it. Support you guys. I know that you obviously can't go to the game because it's in South Korea. So, but I know the loss to Stanford was crippling in every way that you can imagine it. But this is another thing to be excited about. Oregon basketball is back. We're looking good. So I think that's all I really have to talk about for now. We'll be making Spencer and I'll be making videos for all the games this season for basketball. So you guys get ready to see that. That's and with basketball, games are a lot more frequent than once every week. So get ready to see a lot more content coming from us in the next few months. Sorry about that, by the way. But this is Adam of UODuckBros saying thank you guys for watching, and as always, Go Ducks! Basketball's here.